how are you? I'm doing really well, and as promised, your friend Book Teddy is back with a summary of a book on Sunday. The book that I'm reviewing today is a really popular business book. Most of the MBA orientations that I have attended, one speaker or the other always asks MBA students to go through this book in their course. Yes, this book is none other than Jim Collins and Jerry Porras's Built to Last. Originally published in 1994, I am reviewing the 2005 edition. So it's a really popular book with 11 chapters, loads of appendices and lots of data on organization. This book gives us a complete account of what makes visionary companies different from other companies. So let us go and see what sets companies apart and makes them visionary in the long run. So let's start the review of this amazing book. Most of the organizations are running after latest management practices, and there is no dearth of such seasonal fads. Instead of going by latest trends, organizations should return to basics of building an organization. Every chapter of this book starts with an ancient Chinese depiction of dualism or yin and yang. In 11 chapters and following FAQs and appendices, this book talks about fundamentals of dualism in business along with elaborate examples. A good vision and a visionary company builds on the interplay between two complementary forces: core ideology, which is the values and the purpose of the organization, and envision future, which is bhags or big hairy audacious goals. Preserve the core and stimulate progress. This is the essence of this book and single most important point to take away. Visionary companies have a core ideology that is a vital force that shapes the organization. For example, the credo of Johnson & Johnson. Core ideology of the company does not change with change in leadership or market. It usually remains unchanged for decades or more often the lifetime of an organization. When articulating core ideology, the key step is to capture what is authentically believed and not what other companies or the outside world are doing. Usually, the core values range between 3 and 6. And if any organization is having more than 6 core values, it means it has not defined its ideology properly. Core purpose is a set of fundamental reasons for a company's existence beyond just making money. How to define a purpose? Ask this question: why not just shut this organization down, cash out, and sell the assets? Push for an answer that would be valid now and even after 100 years. That answer would be the purpose of organization. A visionary company continually pursues but never fully achieves or completes its purpose. For example, Disney's purpose defined by Walt Disney. Disneyland will never be completed as long as there is imagination left in the world. BHAG or big hairy audacious goals are a powerful mechanism to stimulate progress. They should be bold and exciting and should fall well outside the comfort zone. There should always be follow-on goals to prevent complacency in employees. Although progressive, they should be consistent with core ideology of the organization. Companies should always make goals a way of life in the organization. For example, Boeing set a goal of developing 707 jet when there was no such aircraft in commercial flying industry. They followed up with a goal of developing 727 and 737 aircrafts. Essence of a visionary company comes in the translation of its core ideology into every fabric of the organization, into goals, strategies, policies, processes, cultural practices, management behaviors, building layouts, job design, etc. etc. 4 common characteristics of cults that visionary companies display to a greater degree than other companies are fervently held ideology, indoctrination, tightness of fit, and elitism. Visionary companies create a culture that reinforces dedication to an enduring core ideology. Visionary companies pay great attention to nitty-gritty details and align everything to their core ideology and doggedly correct misalignments. For example, Nordstrom has customer-first ideology indoctrinated in its employees through rewards, store walls painted with motivation, and interaction between employees. Another way of progress, apart from goals, is evolutionary progress. An organization can evolve into a larger and better corporation by doing, experimenting, failing, fixing mistakes, being acceptive of mistakes, providing a room to employees for experimentation, giving operational autonomy, and creating tangible mechanisms to stimulate evolutionary progress. For example, 3M progressed from a mining company into an organization having hundreds of products. Visionary companies tend to be more demanding of their people than other companies, both in terms of performance and congruence with ideology. They tend not to have much room for people unwilling or unsuited to their demanding standards. They also do a better job than comparison companies at developing and promoting highly competent talent from inside the company. Visionary companies develop, promote, and carefully select managerial talent grown from inside the company to a greater degree than comparison companies. For example, GE had homegrown CEOs for over a century. This requires a carefully thought and developed mechanism for management development and leadership continuity. For example, Bob Galvin worked in Motorola for nearly 16 years before becoming the president of the company. If visionary companies have to go outside for a top manager, they look for a candidate who is highly compatible with their core ideology. Managers at visionary companies invest more time, money, and effort in acquiring technical know-how, new employees, management methods, and innovative practices. And finally, creating and building a visionary company does not require, I'll repeat, does not require either a great idea or a charismatic leader. For example, Walmart. If you go by the textbook definition of charisma, Sam Walton was not a charismatic man and started a departmental store similar to many others in America. It was not a great or a novel idea too, but he kept building Walmart step by step until the company grew exponentially after rural discount. So it's not necessary to be a charismatic person or wait for a great idea to start a visionary company. So what do you think? Do you think the points that have been listed by the book are correct or not? This book was a really content heavy book and I was totally immersed in it, but still I couldn't complete more than one chapter in a day. So it took me almost 11-12 days to complete this book, and I would really recommend this book to all the managers, leaders, founders, aspiring managers, leaders, and MBA students. This book really gives a complete picture of how do you construct a visionary company, how do you make a great company. So I hope that you have enjoyed my review, and I really recommend this book to everybody. If you do not like to read the book, you can see this review. I have listed almost every important point which has been listed in this book. And if you would want to read the summary, the link for the summary of my blog is given in the description. So if you like the video, hit the like button. I publish videos on book reviews every Wednesday and Sunday. So please hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, and see you next Wednesday. Keep hustling!